Hi, this is Brandon Smith from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the hack squat. In particular, today we're going to talk about the true squat, an exercise that we have. Now, we don't have an actual hack squat in our facility, but this mimics one very, very closely. And if we ever do get a hack squat, I'll make a separate video for you. But what we're really trying to focus on is a machined-based squat, and generally we're going to be on our feet or standing and starting going down. First in a leg press, we're sitting down and usually the sled's coming towards us. So in general, if you got some hack squat, you're probably going to find something very similar to this is going to work just fine. Now, the hack squat's unique because we have counterbalance weight that we put out here to make it easier, and then on this side we have a post to add weight to make it harder. So I've not really warmed up or anything today. I'm going to put some weight on the counterbalance side. I want to make sure I can do this and be able to get out of the bottom and not blow my knees up. But for this demonstration purpose, that's where we've got the weight out here at the end. And generally, you've got two shoulder pads, a back pad, and then the handles here as well to be able to make it a little more comfortable, more convenient. This one's got a seatbelt option, so you can have your safety first. I will be honest, this particular exercise, I like the seatbelt for. I feel that it keeps me snug to the pad better, where if I don't have it on, I tend to kind of want to let my hips get away from me. And so this is actually the first machine that I've ever used where I thought the seatbelt was actually kind of warranted and felt better than something like a dip machine. So, and then I've got a latch here that I pull before I go down. Pretty simple. It's lower body exercise, really focusing on the quads, and the goal is to increase time under tension, build some leg hypertrophy, and do it through a safe, relative manner. Rather than having to squat with a barbell, it's not going to be the same, obviously, because we are on a fixed track, but that's one benefit from it. So usually this is more of an accessory-based exercise in my programming, and most programming in general, it generally should be. So just for fun, I'm going to latch in here. But for our feet, on this particular exercise, I actually need them in front of me a little bit more. And you'll even find for most hack squats, it generally helps to have your feet slightly more forward than you would think. It just feels comfortable to have it that way rather than have them in close. It just doesn't feel as good. So obviously you have your feet a little bit wider, a little bit narrow. For this particular machine, going about hip width is awesome on this machine. This is a very quad dominant machine. So I'm going to get underneath it. I've got my height already picked up for me. I'm going to unrack it by pushing up. It clears the racks. All I'm going to do is push that. There we go. Keep my head back. As I come forward, I'm going to flex. We really want that. Keep this up. It's going to make sure everything stays on the legs a little bit more, and especially a more quad dominant based exercise. Feel my whole foot on the ground. Make sure I'm in good control of the weight. I'm going to go down as low as I comfortably can and then come back up. One more. There we go. And then we're just going to rack. Good to go. Take my safety off. And the thing that I really like about this particular exercise is it lets you completely sink it. As a short person that really struggles with machines that are built for anybody like 5'2" and taller, I'm 5'1", so I find myself struggling with some exercises to maximize the time under tension and the range of motion. This exercise, not at all. I literally have it set at 5 foot, and as you can see, I can bury it and have plenty of room to work with. So that's what I really like about this true squat machine. It works great for us. But in general, any hack squat machine would work. Now, when it comes to programming and how you would use this exercise in your programming, my general recommendations for stuff like this, it's more for my strength sport athletes. I don't put any clients on it. I just think there's bigger fish to fry. For my power lifters, it's usually help bring up overall leg size and strength, so it's usually at the later end of programs, and usually in the sets of 8 to 15 is where we're kind of at with this exercise. Now, if you happen to be a bodybuilder, you're not necessarily squatting all the time, and you don't have to because you don't compete in it. There's not a technical aspect to that. You could honestly have this first thing. You could have it in the middle. You can make a case for it probably anywhere in your training program, and you can get after it a little bit heavier since you're not actually probably going to be barbell squatting as frequently or as technically as powerlifters would be. So I could see you even dropping down for maybe some 5s and 6s, especially if you're doing clusters, doing drop sets, things like that. That's where this kind of machine comes in handy and very, very beneficial. And I do think that usually using a narrower stance rather than wider does feel better for most people that are looking to use an exercise like this. The big no-nos are, make sure you've got all your safety stuff taken care of, that you're actually in the rack. If you need help, need a spotter, make sure you get that as well, because if you're really pushing yourself, make sure you keep your foot in contact with the ground or whatever apparatus that you're actually standing on the whole time. Not only is it going to maximize your leg size and development, but it's going to prevent having knee issues from your knees coming over your toes really far, underneath all that load. I'm sure we've all seen, even in leg press and hack squat machines, if people having issues, you don't want to be that person that's on YouTube. And otherwise, you should be good. Start light with it, get a feel for the machine, because they're all different. There's so many different kinds, and then just add the weight and progress as you feel comfortable, and as you get used to it, you should be good to go. But that's our true squat or / our hack squat at our facility. If you have any questions about how to perform this particular model, anything like that, or ask me about your particular model, I might be able to help you out. Just leave them in the comment section. I'll get back to you. Thanks. Have a great day.